Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. All right, guys, so I'm right across from the ocean is to my left. I've got my little microphone on. I've got a blanket. It's a little chilly, but it's really not that bad. It's comfortable. I've got two decks. I've got a homemade deck and I've got a tarot deck. I'm just gonna pull three of my homemade decks, and then I'm three from my homemade deck, and I'm gonna clarify it with tarot, and that'll be it. Today was a little weird for me personally, so my energy has been funky. I normally get moody, low-key stank on Saturday nights because my boys leave. I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining. My boys leave to go to their fathers, and so I miss them, and so I really have all of the patience that I have for them and with them. When I am not with them, I have it for no one else. And I'm just being honest. I'm not rude or nasty, but because I know that I'm short, until I see him again. I just try to stay away. I just keep myself, I keep myself to myself. Um, yeah, I just don't want to be bothered until I see him. So it's Saturday night. I didn't post on Friday. I didn't post a face-to-face. So this is going to be the Saturday face-to-face. All right. It may come out kind of late. I don't know how fast it'll upload or whatever for me on my phone, but yeah, this is going to be our Saturday face to face. And then Sunday tomorrow is going to be the live. I don't know what time it'll be. So I told y'all that I grabbed my MacBook by the screen and I cracked it or whatever. So there's like a place locally, not even a mile from where I live. So I made an appointment for Sunday morning at 10 a.m. For like a repair. I don't know what the process is. So I don't know how long it'll be, but that is my obligation on Sunday at 10 a.m. I will exercise. I will do a live. So yeah, we'll be together on Sunday, and I will maybe post in the community about the time. All right, and then yeah, I'll post about the time. Okay, y'all. Let me just go ahead and pull three of my cards, and then I'll pull three tarot, and we'll see what we get. It feels like something dropped, but I don't know if it did. Okay, I don't think it did. Alrighty. Alright, first card I get is Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn, and it connects to the World card in tarot. The World card is about mastery and self-completion. Saturn transits every 2 to 3 years. So just to begin this reading together, think about you now, today, in this moment that we're together, and then go back 2 to 3 years. Go back 2 Decembers, go back 3 Decembers. Now, what was your life like? How was it structured 2 years ago, 3 years ago? How is it looking now in terms of structure? Your ambition, your discipline, your responsibility. How are you managing and handling yourself? You are your first business. You are your first company. You are your greatest representative. The way you present and carry and own and manage and navigate your life, it reveals something about you. When we're talking about communication, what do they say about 95% of communication is going to be nonverbal? And within the first, I don't know, let's say up to 30 seconds of meeting, people generally are going to perceive something about you and come up with an opinion, right? And so considering that that is just naturally the way humanity works and how we communicate, I want you to imagine that you are your own representative. And in 30 seconds, when people are meeting and speaking and engaging with you, they are rating you. Are you a 3, a 4, a 5 star? So consider that. How many stars would you have given yourself if you were a business 2 years ago, 3 years ago? How have you restructured? What are the laws that you've added to your business, your policies and your procedures? What procedures do you have now that you didn't have before, right? So consider, what have you completed? What cycles have you closed? How have you mastered yourself? All right. All right, let's get another one. Oh, my fingertips are cold. All right, we have heart. Oh, All right, so literally the heart chakra. So this is a reading about the heart chakra. So we're talking about love, acceptance, compassion, kindness, and peace, right? Heart chakra is located in the middle of our chest. It connects to the color of green. And so where were you in your heart space 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and now? Y'all, the worst thing, I don't know if I've said this to on a reading, but I'm going to say it again because I'm thinking about it. But the worst thing that I could imagine for myself at one point was not being in a relationship, like not being coupled, because relationships are what I knew. Relationships validated me, someone choosing you, and the type of someone that chooses you, that matters, right? Because if a bum chooses you, then you're a bum, right? But like, not really, but you understand what I'm saying. So your partner is a reflection of you're mirrors. And so not having a mirror, not being chosen, not having somebody to reflect me, and me not really loving or owning or understanding myself, the worst thing was not to be in a relationship. I felt like I would have been a no one, right? So now the worst thing is not having peace, okay? It's not having peace. And if I have to be single to protect my peace, I'm willing to protect it. I was willing to be in many relationships just not to be alone, even if it meant that I had no peace. And so, what does that say about my heart? What does it say about my heart? That I was willing to open myself up to anyone and anything just to feel like I belonged, right? Just to feel loved, just to feel wanted. That means that I didn't have any of those feelings for myself. And the only way my heart felt full is if I could find somebody else to fill it, even if they were filling it with bullshit. Let's say my heart says, I'm pineapple juice only, right? It has taken me 39 years to recognize that my heart only wants to be filled with pineapple juice, okay? And I didn't care. For many years, I was filling it with everything you can think of just to say or just to feel what it felt like to have it filled. And so when I look at myself 2 to 3 years ago to now, I am so full. I'm just so full. I'm just so, not that I'm not willing to like taste other brands of pineapple juice. I'm sufficient with the one that I've provided myself with. Not that I'm not willing to entertain other brands, but I can see the mastery in my love of self, right? Because now I'm conscious. Like, you say it's pineapple juice, but how old is it? Is it freshly squeezed? Does it come out of a can? Is it in plastic? How long was it on the shelf? Like, now I'm asking the right questions, right? Before it didn't matter. It was like, you got a cup? Cool. I didn't even care what was in the cup, right? So now I care about what's in the cup. I'm not going to drink no shit that I don't drink. And I'm going to make sure that what you give me is the freshest version, right? So when I think, and I've learned to give to myself love. So I can't accept another version of love that I would no longer even provide myself with. All right, let's get another one. All right, and we have leader. So this talks about the energy of one in numerology. So number 1 is the leader, okay? There's no one else. It's just them, right? There's nobody else to show you what to do. There's nobody else. It is just you. And so you kind of have to go, you have to fail, you have to try, right? But 1 is the energy of somebody who's confident. Think about if you have a life path number 1, or if any of your key numerology numbers are 1. The characteristics are you're going to be a person that has courage, right? You don't mind being a leader. And let me tell you about leaders. Real leaders, they don't lead. They lead from behind, meaning they guide you, they nudge you, they remind you, right? They encourage you. It's not about the screaming and the shouting and the berating and the dominating. That's not necessarily leading. It sounds or looks like leading because you can see power and you can see force. Ones are about originality. If you're a one, I mean, you're the only one. There's nobody else to copy, right? And so ones are typically going to be very independent people. My 5-year-old is a one. And most times he can live life like he's the only child. He's fine not talking to his brother. He's fine playing alone. He's fine doing many things alone. Like, I can see those traits in him. Now, I know, certain things to look for, so I don't try to pull him too far outside of his natural space, right? So self-mastery, heart, leader, the heart of a leader. So whatever you've done with your heart, you've done it in a way, not because it was pretty, not because it felt good, but you've done it in a way that allows people to be like, okay, I guess I can do that too, even if it didn't feel like it, I guess I can, I guess I can. I guess I can. And so listen, the way you run your life, you are your business. You are your business. 2 to 3 years ago, I would have rated Tennille maybe 3 stars. 3 stars. She was mid as fuck. I was mid for many different reasons in many different areas. I'm sorry if I just be staring. I just be talking. Yeah, but I was mid for many reasons, subpar. Really because I wasn't willing to be Tennille. I wasn't willing to really step into her and own her. That's why I was mid, because I was only willing to use the parts of her that got the praise. And then the parts of her that needed to be developed, that required her to put some fucking elbow grease in it, those are the parts that I'd be like, I don't want to mess, And so we pick and choose parts of ourselves. But the energy of Saturn, this is saying, listen, you need to be responsible for every piece of you. No piece left behind, right? So in order to master yourself, you got to pick up every piece. You can't leave any of it. And sometimes to go forward, you kind of got to go back. And there are pieces of our hearts that certain people have stolen, certain experiences have captured. And in order to bring your heart forward, in order to make sure that, because listen, you can't have a full cup with half a heart, right? You can't have a full cup with half a heart. Can you imagine? Listen, there are some people, there have been some times in relationships where the way I display love, it almost disturbs people. They had a half a heart and I was trying to pour a full cup into them, but they couldn't carry it. They were drowning, right? It was uncomfortable. It was overwhelming. They didn't understand it. Why? Because they weren't working with a full heart. They didn't do they still had more work to do. But obviously I do too if I'm continuing to pour into half hearts, knowing that I am a person that has a full cup, that wants a full cup, right? There's so many levels. There's so many levels. All right, I'm going to pull tarot just to dig deeper. All right, so when I just looked at the time, it was 13:13. 13:13. Ooh, December, the Friday in the 13th day of December is a Friday. Friday the 13th. I forget what I was figuring. Yeah, I was doing something when I figured that out. All right, so we've got 9 of Wands. So this is somebody who didn't quit. You didn't quit. So the self-mastery and the completion, that wasn't easy. That was not easy. To restructure your life, to restrict yourself, to cut yourself off. It's almost like you have to be your own PO, your own parole officer, your own warden. You know what I mean? It's like you're inside of your body, but you have to put yourself, you almost, when you are, nope, don't do that. Don't talk to them. Don't, you have to lock it down. You have to lock it down. All right, so we have Page of Swords. All right. This is exciting. Okay, just one more. 1448. King of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so now we have people. So the first cards I talked about, we just talked about energy. So now when I pull tarot, now I can make it a little more specific, okay? So we have somebody who didn't quit. They didn't quit so much so that they mastered something. So this could be you. 2 to 3 years ago, whoever you were, this is the energy of the wounded warrior, right? You could have been wounded 2 to 3 years ago, but now you're looking very much like a warrior. Now, in terms of your heart space, I don't know who this King of Pentacles is. This King of Pentacles is coming out with the one. He's coming out with the leader. When we're talking about King of Pentacles, we're talking about, a man or a masculine energy who is about their money. Not in a superficial or shallow way. They're not selfish, sometimes they can be financially irresponsible. They can do risky things just to get a lick, just to get ahead. But this King of Pentacles, because it comes out with leader, I'm thinking this is someone who is upright, financially stable, but they're looking at they're looking at the mastery. They're looking at the self-mastery of this wounded warrior. Now, the Page of Swords is like the card of like lurking, watching, right? It's like learning information, but the page is a younger, youthful energy. So it's like you could be nosy, you could be spying, right? It's learning information, but it's like the way you got it was in a very low budget, immature type way, right? You're just picking up the pieces. And somebody is the Page of Swords. The nosy energy is coming out with the heart chakra. So is this King of Pentacles, who is a leader, spying, considering, or lurking and thinking about what's going on with the heart space of whoever this wounded warrior is? Or the wounded warrior becomes daddy. The wounded warrior becomes financially stable. They're good with money. They've got business. They're good with the earth. They're grounded. They're rooted. Sometimes when we think about the King and the Queen of Pentacles, we think about people with the Midas touch. They've got businesses. Anything they touch, it just seems to flourish. If everything was a plant, they would have the best card. They have that type of energy. That is the King and the Queen. Their energy can be seen tangibly. Where like the swords, these are mental people. You're like, oh, they smart, right? The wands energy, like, oh, they're talented, they're passionate, they're fiery, right? But the pentacles, you can see their wealth. You can see it. You'd be like, oh yeah, they're rich. They got a lot of, like, you can see them. They represent, so somebody that can be seen physically because of what they tangibly have, who is a leader financially, I think is looking and considering about the mastery of this wounded warrior. So there are two people in this reading. There's the wounded warrior that doesn't look like who they looked like 2 to 3 years ago. And there's like an emotional maturity. So I don't know if this leader, this King of Swords, is like sweet on this wounded warrior. You know what I mean? But let's pull some more. All right, you're at 1903. Where's my little fun deck? Oh, do I not have it? I'm trying not to move too far because the camera, I don't want the camera. All right, let's just use these. All right, so these are crystal healing cards. Y'all, can I tell you something? My forehead is not that big. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? Sometimes I don't like to be on camera because of the size of my forehead. And when I pull my hair back, but it is so convenient to pull your hair back. But when I leaned forward to look for the cards, I saw that and I was like, girl, get back. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so, okay, no, that was 2. So whenever I get more than 1, I put it back. All right, see, this, okay, courage, obviously. All right, so courage comes out with the wounded warrior, who 2 to 3 years ago didn't look anything like they look today, okay? Capricorn could be significant. The energy of Capricorn, Saturn could be significant. But this is somebody who has totally restructured themselves, their life, their heart space, right? And somebody is noticing. Now, this energy is weird. So we have the shadow. And the shadow comes out with the Page of Swords, the lurking, the spying. And the Page of Swords was connected to the heart chakra. So heart chakra, Page of Swords, shadow, courage, shadow. So maybe this King of Swords is looking at the courage of this wounded warrior and watching at what they've done with their shadow, the darkness that was in them. Emotional healing. Okay, yeah. So the courage of a wounded warrior has caught the eye of a King of Pentacles who's in a leadership position. Maybe the King of Pentacles in a leadership position has experienced an emotional healing because of watching and learning. Maybe they were in the shadows watching, in the shadows loving, I don't know. But something about the courage, something about this wounded warrior has sparked something within the King of Pentacles to shift emotionally. So the courage of one to face their heart, to face their own shadow, can trigger the emotional healing in another. I think that's the reading. The wounded warrior who didn't succumb to their wounds has inspired a leader who's financially fluid. They're a person of power. This is a person in some type of a position. That's what I'm getting, okay? Now let's turn all the bottom of the decks over and see what we got. Y'all, inspiration. Sexuality. You may like what he sees. And the World card. Again, right? Because my homemade deck had Saturn, which connects to the World card. So the World card, listen, sexuality, inspiration, and the World card. What does that mean? All right, y'all, big ass truck just pulled up that I know you can hear. I love you. We are at 2309, 2312, 2313. I'm going to end it at 2323. Here we go. I love you. Have a good night. This is your Saturday video, and I'm about to upload it. Bye, y'all.